Hello, welcome back to another video with Average Guy's Garage. Well, we're back at the 2005 Crown Vic, and a lot has happened since the last time we made a video. And we're here to tell you about a new replacement intake manifold. So why don't you tell us what happened there? Why did you get another one?
Well, long over a year ago, the connection for the heater hose back there on the manifold failed, which you can see on the old one if you want to walk around to the old one back here. Snapped off even with the end of the heater hose, so this would be the the right rear of the engine, I guess, if you're sitting in the driver's seat. So this normally extends out another inch or so, and then the hose drops over it.
Yeah.
Well, it failed. I tried repairing it, and I got away with fixing it for a while. But you can see right there, it's cracked. So the the materials just had it. It's probably 200 and odd thousand miles.
Yeah.
These things probably weren't made to last forever.
I thought someone told us in the video that these cars never last more than 100,000 miles.
I don't know which one he got, but I can't get rid of mine. I mean, I just won't quit. But other than stuff like this, but I ran it like this for about a year with this, and it wasn't sealed very well. It kind of leaked a lot. It was fine around town, but I definitely wouldn't take it on a long trip. But so finally, this gave way a little while ago, and it was time to replace it. This is the original one from the factory, which is pretty good quality. When I looked the part up, it was $200 and some for, I guess, a direct replacement one. They've got,
Direct replacement, you mean?
Well, I mean, not from Ford.
Yeah.
But just auto parts,
Oh, okay.
AutoZone or Advance, are the two that I usually rely on. But, yeah, about $200, but then online you can find them cheaper. And I went with the cheaper one, which I regret a little bit, because out of all of these places you fasten things to the manifold, all the ones here you see are brass.
Right.
This is the original one that came off it. Only these four are brass in the one that I bought. So I bought the cheapest one I could get online. So it's just something to think about when you go to replace yours, if you plan on keeping it for a good long while. This one's got so many miles on it, it's worth rolling the dice, try to save some money, I guess. But if it was something with lower miles and you have this sort of a failure, be careful you're not buying the cheap one, and it's a car that you're going to keep for a while, or that you plan on.
Right. Okay.
I cheaped out, and I kind of kicked myself a little bit, because I think it gave me some trouble, but at the same time, the car's back together, it's running, and I'm happy. So
yeah, so it's been in there for about a month or so, and no problems.
Yeah, that's what we're doing today. Is just I don't want to waste money putting antifreeze into an engine that's just going to leak. So I gave it a couple of weeks of running just to make sure there's no leaks, and I don't have any problems so far. So now it's getting some antifreeze today, finally.
And it was pretty straightforward. Did you have to remove the alternator or anything to put it on there?
Yeah, the alternator's part of it. You got to get that out of there because it's bolted to the crossover.
Oh, okay.
This one, the one that I got, it's the improved model with the aluminum crossover.
Oh, okay.
Way back, I guess, in the 90s or something, or early 2000s, that part was still plastic, and that's where you get a failure.
Oh, okay.
And I think mine was updated, so when it finally failed, it failed in a different area there.
And this is just plastic?
Yeah.
Some kind of what kind of plastic it is?
It's, I think, known as JFM.
Okay.
It's you're thinking, why doesn't it melt?
Yeah.
You think plastic, hot engine, why doesn't it melt? The valve covers, this, most of the radiator, all this. I mean, a lot of what you see here is plastic. And stuff that's right up against the engine block, and you think, wow, plastic.
It ought to melt. It's 700 degrees or whatever.
You think about like a plastic plate or a bowl or something in the kitchen. You accidentally leave it on the stove. You think, well, that isn't that hot?
Yeah.
But no, it's interesting. I mean, I've never. The last time I changed one, it was a cast iron.
Right.
And it was on an old school Chrysler engine that had a 318 or something, or a 360 would have been what it was. But yeah, And I don't know what those cost to replace, but that was the thing. You never replaced them, did you?
That's right.
These cheesy plastic ones that break, manifold, you replace the manifold. And you've got some video. We replaced the radiator earlier.
Yeah.
That same thing. I had that thing that put the bars leaks in it to fix it, and it fixed it so well it went for a year without needing an actual replacement. But that's been replaced. The intake manifold. Not so long ago we did the belt, the tensioner for the belt.
Yeah, I've got videos on both of those. I just need to get them uploaded. I'll do this one, and then I'll put the other
big
two.
Long update. Put it all together.
Put it all up there.
I just got it through its inspection again, but right away it developed a problem with the, like right after it got inspected, all of a sudden I get 2 warning lights for ABS and the brake lights, so we've got to look into that and check the wheel bearings and the sensors to just make sure they're clean and whatnot. We haven't looked into that just yet, but
yeah, you want to tell that story of how you okay. That was a good story.
Well,
all right, past inspection. Let's just stay with that.
Yeah, yeah.
That was good.
Past its inspection, yeah.
All right.
But, yeah, just like I say, it just developed right after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. You know, I just recently put a rear tire on it. The tire, you know, I put used tires on this, so you know, it's an older car with a lot of miles, and it's still reliable. It's worth fixing it, but don't throw too much money at it.
Yep.
Yeah, I would probably look a little closer at spending a few more dollars on that manifold again if I had to, just for the sake of probably going together a little bit better, all the parts fitting a little bit better. You can see here that I got zip ties around the fuel rails because this is one of the areas where it didn't fit, and so I don't have the ability to bolt it down to the manifold. Yeah, it doesn't line up. So I just zip tied it down for the minute, and I got to come up with
same up here.
A way of
you managed to get.
I did it because what happened was I actually had the bolt in there, but it snapped.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I didn't over tighten it and snap it.
Right.
I put it down, but what I noticed was it was right up against the edge of the slot here. This is kind of a slotted hole in the fuel rail, but even then it was like a really tight fit to get the bolts in. And I probably should have looked at it a little bit closer and, I don't know, maybe even stopped and got a different manifold, but what it was pushing up against the side. It was putting a side load on the bolt, if that makes any sense. And that's why I think it snapped the head off.
Wow.
So because I was worried that it might be a problem over here too, I've zip tied these down.
Oh, so it didn't shear it off?
Just so that I've got a little, you know, if I see that the bolt snapped off, you know, I'm keeping an eye on it, but if I see any of these bolts snapping off because they're cheesy and cheap.
Was there something you said about the fuel rail that it has to sit a certain way because when you first put it all together, fuel was pouring out for some reason?
Well, no, that's what happened was I thought I had this bolted down, but it came loose.
Okay, and that's
while I was driving.
That's where it was leaking from. Okay.
Stopped the car because it was running really badly. Got out, opened the hood, and fuel spraying everywhere on a hot engine. You know, because I've been driving a few miles.
Oh yeah.
Had to shut it off and push it all back down, and put the zip ties on, just as a temporary thing. But I haven't come up with what I can do to fix this other than just like saying, oh, screw it, and buying a good manifold that'll line those brass pieces. Hopefully, then you know you can still get one with those brass inserts, and it's all made in a to the right pattern, to the right shape.
Well, it continues.
But for now, it's, you know, I've done probably 2,000 miles on it since I did all this. You know, it's I've done a lot of miles. It's only been a month or so, but I've done a lot of miles.
Well, this 2005 Crown Vic continues to be the star performer for Average Guy's Garage. Just keeps going.
Well, it won't quit. Yeah. Not yet. Don't worry, I'll get to it. I'll wear it out.
All right. Well, thanks for watching the video. We will check back with you guys with another video, and thanks for watching.